Hello, campers, and welcome back to WKOZ Camp Cosmographia Radio. Last time we left off after a rousing talk from the ghost of Ray Bradbury. He was talking about overcoming writer's block, and now we're headed. Oh, whoa, campers, give me a minute. Well, like I said last time, I feel a little dizzy for some reason. Oh, well, let's take a beat. What did you think about Ray Bradbury's talk?
I have a question.
Oh, hi, Camper Bri. What's on your mind?
So, the Ghost of Ray Bradbury said that writer's block means that you've chosen the wrong subject. Is it really as simple as that?
What do you think?
Well, when you and I had our creativity conversation during the first week of camp, I said that I've been having a lot of blocks around uncertainty and lack of follow through for quite a long time. And then how recently I'd been given almost this vision of a whole show all at once. It was this beautiful, incredible musical. But then when I tried to write it, I couldn't get past a phrase of a song.
Right. I remember I said to sit down at a piano and turn on your phone and record yourself playing that one phrase, like you were beginning to collect actual footage for the show.
Yes, and I did, and it felt so good. Like a link had been created between everything in my imagination and what could actually be out in the real world. But then it stopped. I didn't think about it for like weeks. But then it happened again, and this time it was another song, but it had more words, more lyrics, more melodies.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, so I hadn't changed my subject matter, but I still feel like I'm having blocks around taking the next step.
Hmm. Okay. I have an idea. Everyone, please follow me. I'm going to take you somewhere you haven't been before.
Camp Caretaker Dan to Camp Director Nina.
Oh,
Come in.
oh, surprising. Okay. Walkie-talkie, walkie-talkie. There it is. Nina here.
Where are you?
I'm with a group of campers. We're on our way to the MyStory woods.
Probably for the best. Get them off the main part of camp. We might have a problem.
A problem?
Reports of dizziness.
Oh, I thought it was just me.
When did your dizziness start?
Just as the portal to the realm of imagination closed up, after the ghost of Ray Bradbury left.
The ghost of Ray Bradbury was here?
Yeah, he gave a rousing talk at Cosmo's Hollow.
Thought I felt something.
Well, what's going on, Dan? Dan? Radio check. Okay. Okay, guys. Caretaker Dan said it's best if we get off the main part of camp now for a while. So let's continue on to the MyStory woods. Just follow me. Don't be scared. Whatever it is, I'm sure Caretaker Dan has it handled. Just keep your wits about you and follow my lead. No one knows when camp first appeared, at least the land itself. I mean, I might have turned it into Camp Cosmographia only recently, but the Memoir Meadows and the Slipstream and the MyStory Woods, who knows how long they've been here. Some of you may have gone on a trail walk with trail guide Fran Tepper through the MyStory Woods already. Everyone who teaches here has at least once successfully blazed a trail through the MyStory Woods to completed book overlook. Some people call it completed story overlook. Either one is fine. That's how they qualify to be creativity counselors here at camp. When you go on a journey with one of our trail guides on a trail walk, you're safe. They got you. That doesn't mean it was always safe for them. Oh, okay, here we are at the edge of the MyStory Woods. So like I was saying, the MyStory Woods have trails others have carved, and they may look inviting. but they'll never get you to completed book overlook. There are a lot of places and things in these woods that make it not so easy. And one of those things is the writer's block. So I'm going to show you today, while we're all together in a group and relatively safe, what it looks like. The problem is that the writer's block isn't always in the same place. No, it shows up in different places for each trailblazer as they're carving their own trail. But one thing is always the same. You've taken the wrong path, maybe even just stepped 1 foot in the wrong direction, and there it is. And to find one, to see one up close, we're going to need a volunteer. Bri.
Me?
We're all right behind you, but this is your story, so you have to go in first.
Okay.
First, I'm going to ask you to conjure up in your mind the original vision or feeling of your story idea. And I'm going to ask you to say out loud the thoughts that come up that tell you that you can't get there. You're never going to make it through the woods to the completed story overlook.
I've never even finished a script. I don't write very good songs. Never put on a musical before. I've never put on any production before.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you have some unspoken assumptions about the fact, like ideas of that it has to have like 3 acts or be a certain...
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or that has this particular type of narrative format or this,
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I have an idea for a show. So how does one create a show for Broadway? Like it's like there's so little room to explore. It's like, oh, I go from idea to, well, what did Lin-Manuel Miranda do to get in the Heights or like Hamilton, and I've never done any of that, but that's the only reference I have. But at the same time, like, I'm not him. Like, I don't have any of that experience. So therefore I have nothing.
And there it is. Your writer's block. Look at that. Oh, wow. Okay, campers, gather round. This is a writer's block. Note that it is about 2 stories high, shaped like a giant cube with sleek black sides, almost like marble, and it is completely blocking the way forward. So what is this big old piece of modern art doing at Camp Cosmographia? Well, hold your hands up to the block. Feel its smooth, cool surface. Impenetrable, right? It's telling you you can't pass. It's stronger than you. It's bigger than you. Now keep tracing your hands along the side. Do you feel that? It's a groove. Very slight, but if you follow it up. Yep, do you feel the next one up? Hard to see them. It's like a trick of the light. But there they are. Okay, put your hand up. Now the other one. This might be a block in the path, but it's also a vista point. If you can get on top of it, a way to see more. Here at camp, you have all the power and strength and athletic ability you need to climb this cube. Go ahead. 1 foot in a foothold. There you go. 1 hand in a tiny crevice. Up and up. There you go. You're doing it. Halfway there. Ooh, all right, you made it to the top. How's the view? From here, you can ask yourself if you actually are going in the right direction. You can see further down this path and ask yourself where it ends. Can you see where it ends? Is that where you want to go?
In front of me is the drop off, but then it's like if I go northeast, it's like I kind of follow along like the drop off, and then it closes off, and I'm back on regular land, and there's a windy trail, and then it opens up into this pretty circular clearing, and it's like dusty forest floor, like it's pretty dry, and there's just these like peasant looking people in like long skirts and like aprons and head coverings, and they're just like dancing around in these circles. And then there's this wooden raised platform that's only like, I don't know, maybe 3-4 feet high, with some like white panels, like 3 white panels behind it. And so that's the stage, and there's a little bit of painted set on it, but mostly it's like the clearing itself is a big part of the set, and the performers are there intermixed with the audience members. So it's like everybody's participating. Like there isn't, it kind of breaks the fourth wall between the performers and the audience. Like it's just happening. They're dancing around and singing, and they're pulling people up. Like the audience members that are sitting down watching, they're pulling them up and they're dancing together. And there are animals around that just live in the forest, that are like popping their heads and like, oh, there's a deer with like, it's a buck with its big old antlers, like, what's going on out here? And it's bunnies hopping around and like birds in the trees, and it's just like it's like, did you ever see the animated Robin Hood? Like after Maid Marian and Robin Hood get married, their celebration is just like, it's got that sort of a feel where it's like just it's so funny, like it's not Broadway at all. It's very simple. It's like simplistic, but effective and fun and approachable. Right? Like it's not like, ooh, here's the stage and it's all fancy and like there's a clear boundary between roles. It's like, oh no, we're all gathering to have a good time, and we're all in the same space together, and yeah, we're gonna tell a story, but we're not like, everybody gets to join in and sing along. It's so fun and cozy, and just like, oh, what should we all do tonight? Like, let's go to the woods and dance around the fire, which is so good for camp.
I love it so much. What does this tell you about your next steps? How about that?
Yeah, because it was visual and immersive, then maybe I start exploring, okay, like what do the spaces look like? What do the costumes look like? What the ensembles and the chorus, like, do I know how many people there are? What can I learn about their characters? So it's like exploring the setting and exploring, I'm not sure about the terms, like, because I want to know, like, what do the sets look like? Like, right. Like I want to go closer and like touch them. Like I want to get on that stage. So, and then I want to like watch as these people dance around and like, oh, what color clothes is she wearing? And like, what are they made out of? Like, it makes me want to know more of the details that would bring it to life, like costumes and set and lighting and props.
Okay.
Like that's kind of where I think it took me.
Yes, the tangible, the material.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, like building the sets and the world, like creating the world a bit more.
So I see. So this is like, right. So this is the next stop. The clearing is your next milestone, or however you want to say it. Or what's pulling you forward next is now wanting to think about like muslin or cotton, what color, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Yeah, the tactile. Because it was just right, because it was so vivid being in that clearing. So it's like, oh, okay, well, it seems like my next step is then to really like step into it further. That is not somebody telling me, okay, well, what's the next step? It's like, ooh, I'm on top of the block and there's a drop off, but there's something. If I look over here, oh, what's over there? Oh, that's interesting. I'm so curious. Like, what is that? Ooh, this is so. Oh, okay. Like, this is so cool. Like, ah, oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is my next step then, because this is where my imagination's going. This is where I'm feeling inspired.
I'm just getting excited. So the thing that brought forward your block were like expectations for yourself of how you should do it and how it should be, like Lin-Manuel Miranda's
yeah.
stuff. And then you get up there and what you see is like, oh no, this is much more like that scene in Robin Hood, which I love, where everyone's in a clearing in the woods celebrating, and there's song and there's dance and there's a story to be told, but it's there's a narrative to be told, but it's much more like fluid, and there's less of a difference between the storyteller and those who are listening to the story. And so basically what it's telling you is like, yes, this is the container. You're seeing your at least more of the shape of your true container.
Yeah. Right. Which is excellent, because that's what we were talking about. Like,
yes. So it's like when Ray Bradbury talks about subject matter, I mean, he was being a little glib and quick in his talk, but it's like your subject matter is still the same, but what it really is like, I think a block really has more to do with trying to force the subject matter into the wrong container.
You just assume you're working with a square, and it's like, no, it's a circle. Like, but what? Like, hold on, since when? It was always a square.
Okay, this is great. Okay, Bri, come on down. You did great. Okay, campers, once Bri is down, everyone follow close behind me. I'll get us out of here, back to camp. I feel like we are just embedded. It's so embedded into us right away that like what we're actually interested in and where our minds actually want to go is somehow wrong. And yeah, and it's like Ray Bradbury says, he's like, your subconscious will tell you it no longer likes you. Because it'll give you a writer's block.
Dan to Nina, come in.
Nina here. We're just out of the woods.
Well, we're not. I've been trying to reach you.
Oh no, are things worse? What's going on, Dan?
It's happening.